You're born different. Your mother knew it before you took your first breath. An angel appeared to her and told her that the child growing inside her would be special, set apart, dedicated to God from the womb, a Nazirite. There are rules. No wine, no unclean food. And the most important one, no razor will ever touch your head. Your hair's the seal of a covenant between you and something bigger than yourself. You don't understand it yet. You're just a baby in a small Israelite village called Zorah, and the Philistines rule everything around you. But one day, you'll begin to change that. One day, your name will be the most feared word in the Philistine language. You grow up and your hair grows with you. Long, thick, wild, 7 heavy locks that hang past your shoulders and mark you as different from every other boy in the village. But it's not the hair that makes you different, it's what's inside you. The first time you feel it, you're walking through the vineyards near Timnah and a young lion charges at you. Full speed, jaws open, and something moves through your body like fire through dry wood. You grab the lion with your bare hands and tear it apart like it was made of cloth. You stand there, breathing hard, staring at the carcass of a lion you just destroyed with nothing but your hands, and you realize something terrifying. You're not like other people. You've never been like other people. The strength inside you isn't muscle. It isn't training. It's something divine, something placed in you before you were born. And from that moment on, you carry it everywhere like a fire that never goes out. Your strength is beyond anything human. You can snap ropes like thread. You can tear iron chains like paper. You can lift things that 10 men together couldn't move, and you use it. For 20 years, you are the nightmare of the Philistines, the one-man army they can't stop, can't catch, can't contain. When they come for you in the city of Gaza, you rip the city gates off their hinges, posts and all, and carry them to the top of a hill, the entire gate on your shoulders. When 1,000 Philistine soldiers surround you at Lehi, armed with swords and spears, you look at the ground and find the jawbone of a donkey. A bone, a discarded animal bone in the dirt, and you pick it up and kill every single one of them. 1,000 trained soldiers, one man, one bone. By the time you're done, the hillside is silent and you're standing in the middle of it all, the jawbone still in your hand. Not a scratch on your body. The Philistines don't just fear you, they're terrified of you. You are the weapon they have no answer for. And for 20 years, you are untouchable. But your strength has a shadow, and the shadow's name is weakness. You've always had a weakness for the wrong woman. It started in Timnah, where you married a Philistine woman against your parents' wishes, and it ended in betrayal and fire. It continued in Gaza, where you visited a woman and nearly got killed because of it. And now, in the Valley of Sorek, it happens again. You meet a woman named Delilah, and everything you are, everything you've built, everything you've been given, begins to unravel. Delilah is beautiful. That's the first thing you notice. She moves through a room like light through water, and every part of you that has ever been weak, every part that ignores the voice telling you to walk away, locks onto her like a moth to a flame. The second thing about Delilah is that she's dangerous. More dangerous than any army the Philistines have ever assembled against you. But you can't see that because the first thing blinds you to everything else. The Philistine lords come to her in secret. Each one of them offers her 1,100 pieces of silver, 5 lords, 5,500 pieces total. That's more money than a priest earns in 100 lifetimes. The price of your destruction. Find out where his strength comes from. Find his weakness. Help us capture the man who has humiliated our entire nation for 2 decades. And Delilah, the woman sleeping in your arms every night, says yes. She starts asking, where does your great strength come from? How could someone bind you and make you helpless? The first time she asks, you lie. You tell her that if someone ties you with 7 fresh bowstrings, you'll become weak like any ordinary man. She does it while you sleep. She calls out that the Philistines are coming. You snap the bowstrings like they're nothing. She pouts. You laugh. It's a game to you. The second time, you tell her new ropes. Same result. You break them off your arms like thread. The third time, you get closer to the truth. You tell her to weave your 7 locks of hair into a loom. She does it. You wake up and pull the entire loom out of the wall. Each time there are men hiding in the room waiting to take you. Each time you're too strong, and each time Delilah gets angrier. Then comes the moment that ruins everything. She turns on the tears. She turns on the words. How can you say you love me when you won't trust me with the truth? You've lied to me 3 times. Your heart isn't with me. She says it every day, morning and night. The nagging becomes a weapon sharper than any sword the Philistines have ever made. Day after day after day, she presses you, and your soul, the scripture says, is vexed to death. You're so tired of the fighting, so tired of the questions, so tired of keeping the one secret that keeps you alive. And in a moment of exhaustion, a moment when the noise in your head is louder than the voice of wisdom, You tell her everything. No razor has ever touched my head. I've been a Nazirite since the day I was born. If my hair is cut, my strength will leave me, and I'll become as weak as any other man. You say it and you see something change in her eyes, a flash of something cold, something calculating, but you're too tired and too blind and too in love to recognize it for what it is. She knows this. Time is different. She can feel the truth in your voice, and she sends word to the Philistine lords. Come back one more time. He's told me everything. And they come, with the silver in their hands. That night she pulls your head into her lap. She strokes your hair, the 7 locks that have never been cut, the seal of your covenant, the source of everything you are. You fall asleep in her arms, and it's the last time you'll ever feel safe. She calls for a man, a barber. He comes into the room while you sleep and shaves all 7 locks from your head. The hair falls to the floor like dead leaves, and with it something invisible leaves your body. Something enormous and warm and powerful drains out of you like water from a broken vessel. The strength of God departing from a man who broke his last promise. She screams. The Philistines are upon you. You jump up, ready to fight like every other time, ready to snap whatever they've used to bind you, ready to scatter them like dust. But this time, your arms don't work. This time, your muscles have nothing behind them. You push and nothing moves. You pull and nothing breaks. You reach for the power that has been with you since birth, and it's gone. It's simply gone. And the Philistines pour into the room, dozens of them, men who have feared you for 20 years, men whose friends and brothers you've killed with your bare hands. They grab you, they pin you down, and then they do something that makes sure you'll never forget what you've lost. They gouge out your eyes. Darkness. That's your world now. Complete, permanent, irreversible darkness. They bind you in bronze chains and drag you to Gaza, the same city where you once tore the gates off the walls and carried them up a hill on your shoulders. But you're not tearing anything now. They throw you into a prison and chain you to a grinding wheel, a millstone, the work of a donkey, not a man. Round and round and round you walk, grinding grain for the people who conquered. You, the strongest man who ever lived, reduced to a blind slave pushing a stone in circles in the dark. Your feet wear a groove in the prison floor. Your hands blister and callous on the chain. Day after day, week after week, month after month, the grinding never stops. The darkness never lifts. The chains never loosen. And in that endless circle, you have nothing but time to think about every choice that led you here, every warning you ignored, every lie you told, and every truth you gave away to the wrong person. This is what it feels like to lose everything you were given because you couldn't say no to the one person you should never have trusted. But in the darkness, something happens that nobody expects. Your hair starts to grow back, slowly, inch by inch, lock by lock. The Philistines don't notice. Why would they? He's blind. He's chained. He's broken. What difference does his hair make now? But you feel it. In the darkness of that prison, pushing that wheel day after day, you feel the weight returning to your scalp. And with it, you feel something else. Something faint at first, like a distant ember in a cold fireplace. A warmth that starts in your chest and spreads outward through your arms and into your hands. The strength is coming back, and this time, you know exactly what to do with it. The day comes, a great festival in the temple of Dagon, the Philistine god. 3,000 people packed into the building and on the roof. Every ruler, every lord, every important Philistine in the land. They're celebrating your capture, celebrating the fall of the man who terrorized them for 20 years. And for entertainment, they bring you out, the great Samson, blind, chained, stumbling. They parade you through the temple like a trophy. The crowd roars with laughter, they mock you, they spit at you. The mighty warrior reduced to a sideshow for their amusement. You ask the boy leading you by the hand to place you between the 2 main pillars that hold up the temple. Just let me lean against them, you say. Rest for a moment. The boy doesn't think twice. He guides your hands to the cold stone pillars, one on your right and one on your left. You wrap your fingers around them. You feel the stone. You feel the weight of the entire building resting on these 2 columns. 3,000 people above you. Every Philistine ruler in the land around you. And in your arms, you feel the fire, the old fire. The strength that you squandered on pride and lust and foolishness returned to you one final time for one final act. You pray. For the first time in a long time, you pray with everything you have. Not for escape, not for freedom, not for your eyes back, not for revenge, though revenge is standing all around you in the form of 3,000 Philistines who are laughing at your blindness. You pray for strength one more time. Just once more. Let me finish what I was born to do. Let this final act mean something. And you feel it, the warmth, the fire, the power flooding back through your arms like a river breaking through a dam. And then you push, both arms, every fiber of your being, everything you were given and squandered and begged to have returned. You push the pillars apart and the stone cracks and the ceiling groans and the walls shudder and buckle, and the entire temple of Dagon, the greatest structure the Philistines have ever built, collapses inward in a thundering avalanche of stone and dust and screaming that can be heard for miles. 3,000 Philistines die in the collapse. Every ruler, every lord, more enemies in your death than in all the years of your life combined, and you die with them, buried under the rubble of the temple, blind and chained, but free in the only way that matters. The boy who was born with a promise, the man who broke every vow he ever made, the warrior who was invincible against armies but helpless against a woman's tears, the prisoner who found his way back to God in the darkness of a grinding cell. All of it ends here, under the stones of a pagan temple, in the loudest silence the ancient world has ever heard. Your family comes to collect your body from the rubble. They carry you home and bury you between Zorah and Eshtal in your father's tomb. The village where it started is where it ends. The boy with the wild hair and the impossible strength returned to the soil that raised him. 20 years as a judge of Israel, 20 years of victories that should have been enough. But it was never about the strength, it was about what you did with it. And you did extraordinary things and terrible things and foolish things and one final, devastating, magnificent thing. That's your story. Born with a gift nobody else had. Raised with a purpose nobody else could fulfill. Given power that could have freed an entire nation. And you wasted most of it chasing the wrong things. You broke every rule. You trusted the wrong people. You told your deepest secret to the person most likely to use it against you. But in the end, in the absolute darkness of a prison cell, pushing a stone in circles, you found something you'd lost a long time ago. And when the moment came, when the pillars were in your hands and the prayer was on your lips, you proved that the last act of a broken man can be greater than all the victories of an unbroken one. That's Samson, the strongest man who ever lived and the weakest.